welcome back to Teaching with Tenia. I am so excited that you're here because it is now my second day of school. I was thinking about what videos to do for you guys, and I've had a lot of first year teachers ask me, like 2 weeks ago, what should I be preparing for the first day of school? The first day of school is just so overwhelming. And let me tell you, it does get better because from my first year to the second year, I was like, this is a breeze. I feel like the first 2 days of school have been absolutely amazing. And I attribute that to these 5 things that I'm about to tell you in this video. These 5 things that you need to have prepared for the first day of school. So the first thing you need to have is get to know you activities. I had to realize that the students don't know you and you don't know them. Maybe you and your colleague have already talked, but by the end of the day, the students don't know you. Maybe they've seen you in the hallways if you've taught there the previous year. I like to share, it depends on what you're comfortable with sharing, of course. I like to share get to know you activities or things about myself that lets the students know that I'm human, I make mistakes as well, but also there's a respect level there. And especially when you tell them, like especially in our community, that you went to college or things that they want to do, and just basically try to find some similarities between students as you're telling them your story and your testimony basically, or your story about whatever you're comfortable with. They may even find some similarities of some struggles they've had to overcome as well. For example, I talked about when I was in 3rd grade wanting to be a teacher and then going to college, and then now I'm here and they're like, well, you went to college and things like that. And they ask questions and they get super into it. I also let them show their opinion and talk about their family and things like that. If you haven't checked out my get to know you activities or back to school activities, feel free to click this box up here where it gives you a bunch of back to school activities if you're lost and you're a first year teacher and you just have no idea what to be doing. Those are some really good examples. The second thing you need to prep for your students is the classroom, of course, but also set boundaries. Number 2 is boundaries. Let them know, like, these are teacher areas, these are not teacher areas. This is when you can't get up without permission. This is when you can't get up without permission. Set that tone off the bat, because if you don't, it's going to be really hard to gain it back. Or if students, for example, they have to earn the cozy corner this year, let them know that, let them know that you just can't go wherever you want, whenever you want in this classroom. Like, there's structure to it, and at the end of the day, everybody has to stay safe. Like, as teachers, our priority is safety. So letting them know that in this area, this is a teacher area, you cannot go. But these are all the areas that you can go in, so feel free to use those. The third thing you need to prep are your pencils. Pencils are super important because on the first day of school, especially if you want them to do activity as soon as they come in, like a morning work or do now, and they don't have any pencils readily available to them, then that's going to be a problem. Especially when not all students or all families have the ability to buy school supplies. So just go ahead and fill in that need, because they're already here getting educated. We don't want materials and supplies to be like an hindrance for them. So just go ahead and have pencils already off the bat for them, that if they don't have a pencil and their parents weren't able to send them to school with a pencil, that they're able to get one without no embarrassment or anything like that. So speaking of pencils, I got this really cool sharpener that I want to tell you guys about. This sharpener is fully automatic, and look how cute it is. It matches the theme and the aesthetic of my. The kids absolutely love it, because at first I wasn't letting them use my pencil sharpener, but now I am letting them use this pencil sharpener because they can fit any size pencil into it with the maximum thickness of 5 millimeters. You can also adjust the thickness with the gears, which I've taught my students how to do, and so they've been working with it for 2 days now, and they absolutely love it. It also allows you to meet different students' needs. For example, I teach pre-K, and they use the thicker pencils, so those students are able to use this pencil sharpener as well. As you guys may already know, I created learning zones in my classroom, so if I am at a small group table and a student needs to sharpen their pencil, it is so easy and so portable that I could just have it on my small group table and continue using it for small group, or I could use it at the back learning table if a student needs to use it over there. Most of the time it just stays right here and students are able to access it easily. It also has a built-in rechargeable battery that lasts for a very long time and is super portable because you can take it anywhere. I love that it's fully automatic in and out, so every time you put it in, the pencil sharpener continues to spin, and then when you take it out, it recognizes it as well. It's very cute and convenient, and my students love it. If you want to check out this pencil sharpener, it will be in the description box down below, so don't forget to check out that link, because you can get all sorts of colors. I got the blue one because it matches my classroom, but they also have a bunch of other colors, so don't forget to check it out. All right, the fourth thing you need to have prepared for the first day of school is The way that students are going to get materials, like their pencils. For example, I absolutely hate when students sharpen a pencil. It's like one of my pet peeves, and I let them know on the first day, this is a pet peeve of mine, please don't do it. For example, if I'm in the middle of teaching or giving explicit instruction, that's a no bueno, not Spanish. It is not the time to sharpen a pencil, especially because your other friends can't hear what I'm saying, and we talk about being respectful and things like that. However, if you're working independently, your pencil breaks, boom, go ahead and sharpen it. That's totally fine. If we're in a small group independent activity, that's totally fine. As long as I'm not in the front of the board teaching them, they can totally go ahead and do that. But also talk to them when they are allowed to use the bathroom, tissues, water breaks, things that you don't normally think of in emergencies. Like for example, on the first day of school, this was a rookie mistake last year. I had a bunch of different passes, nurse, hall, gym, all that stuff laid out. And it just gave them ideas like, I'm bored, I'm wandering around the classroom. Where should I go, or where do you think I could go? And most of the time they could hold it, especially when in third grade, they need to learn how to hold it. And so now I basically just fizzled all that out. Like the idea was cute for sure, but in actuality, it wasn't. Now just have one hall pass for all emergencies. So if a person is out, the nurse, and they take 20 minutes, they have to wait for that person to come back, or one person is getting water. It just keeps me accountable and them accountable. And I'm like, you better count to 60 seconds, and then you better be back by the time you count to 60 seconds. I only give them like a minute or two to use the bathroom because in their head, they're just playing around, and most of the time they don't have to go. But then of course, if it is an emergency, I do want to let them go. So I talked about those routines and procedures, also how to line up correctly, how to set the carpet correctly, things like that. I went over day one so that there's no issues and no miscommunication. Like even today I had a student, when we talked about our classroom agreements, I like to call them instead of rules. So we agreed upon this, that we're going to respect each other. I'm going to respect you, and you're going to respect me. And now you're disrespecting me because of this. And I have basically normal conversations, but I feel like in third grade, like we're still trying to figure out our emotions or how to name our emotions and articulate them, if that makes sense. But anyways, going back to routines and procedures, please make sure you do that. If you guys haven't watched my classroom setup video, go ahead and do that, because I put stickies on the floor, because lining up is no reason why our line should look a mess. And I know it's such a simple thing, but I do teach in a public school, so it's hard to get everybody where we need to go in one safe order, and like safe and not chaotic order, except for a line. I wish we could walk in groups and clusters and things like that, but unfortunately, like the line is just the best way. And I can go ahead and count everybody. It's just easy to maintain. And also the students know where they belong and where they're supposed to be going. Especially our friends that are new that haven't been in the school before, the first few weeks, they don't know where to go. So they're just following the person behind them, and everybody gets to where we need to go safely. So the last thing you need to have prepared is places to put school supplies. I feel like on the first day of school, it's just, hey, I have this, especially if you didn't have a back to school night where you were allowed to bring materials into the building. Like we had a back to school night, but it was more cookout style and things like that. If you haven't checked out my back to school video, that was one before this one, so be sure to check that out. The students were not able to bring like supplies into the building, so the first day of school, I have papers, glue sticks, like big packages of stuff, tissues, wipes, all these things going everywhere. One of the veteran teachers at my school, when I was student teaching, gave me this bright idea to put like sticky notes on the table. For example, you put all the glue here, or things that you want to keep in your mailbox, your locker, or in your desk. Like just being able to sort all that stuff instead of having a pile of stuff, and students are like, where do I put this, where do I put this, especially if they don't have their locker assignments yet, or cubbies, whatever you guys do at your school. Those are just 5 things that I want you to have prepped or have thought through. Where do you want this to go? Where do you want this to go for the first day of school? Because trust me, if you're a first year teacher, it can be overwhelming, but it definitely gets better. Comment down below if you have any other suggestions or things that you didn't think of that you actually need to go ahead and prep for the first day of school. And also I did leave the link down below for my amazing pencil sharpener, so be sure to click the link down below to get you one of your favorite color. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.